Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakdash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us his truth. Shalom also to the Akim pushing his word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled bird across the four corners of the world, and to the few sisters who are listening. To you, I say Shalom. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson on the brother Hadashi from the GMS Chicago camp. And, Lord willing, this be an edifying lesson. But, this morning I woke up and as I was scrolling through YouTube, this lesson came up on my recommended, which is by the brother Nadazakia here in Chicago, very beloved brother. And, he's this brother sets very good examples, and he's constantly working hard, man. And one of the things that this brother, I constantly think about, he's one of those brothers that I always think about, that's constantly working hard. And not only that, but, he be busy with other things in his life, man. But somehow, some way, this brother always finds a way to make lessons, always finds a way to make it to class, always finds a way to stay diligent in this truth, man. And that's something that's very, very admirable, and something that's very, very some guys is very hard for them to do, man, because a lot of guys are lazy. A lot of guys do not like to put in the hard work. But hey, this is one of those brothers, man, that absolutely goes hard, man, and it's inspiring. You see, and I wanted to do a response to this lesson that he did, going into hate not laborious works and get to work. And basically in this lesson, he was covering something that the Apostle Tahar said in after camp lesson. And basically Apostle Tahar was going around asking guys, who does a lesson a day and so on and so forth. And, basically he was saying how, if you aren't working, or if you're being slack or remiss or being lazy and not doing this work, then you're not part of the elect, man. Because the elect, they're going to be putting in their diligence to make their calling and election sure, man. They're going to be studying to show themselves approved. They're going to be giving their mind over to this they're going to stay occupied in these prophecies, man. You see, and above all, they're going to stay occupied, man. You see? And one thing that jumped out at me at this lesson, which is around the middle of the lesson, he said that actions speak louder than words, man. And that's a saying in the world, but it couldn't be more true than ever, man. It's a true proverb, because your actions will always speak louder than your words, man. What you put in this truth, you're gonna get out of it, man. That's why the scriptures say that we have to abound in the work. Let me see if I could get that. This is 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast. It says unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. So you want to be steadfast, man. You want to be unmovable. You want to be rooted in this truth. And the only way you're going to be rooted in this truth is by constantly putting in your diligence, man. That's what's going to be the confidence behind everything that you do, man. If you're not doing any work, if you're being lazy, if you're being slack and remiss in this ministry, then obviously you're not going to be steadfast. Obviously, you're not going to be unmovable. But if you're always abounding in the work of the Lord, those attributes of you having confidence in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are going to just naturally come to you, man. Because you're going to have faith, because you're going to have the works and the faith to back up everything that you're saying, man. To back up, a guy that says, oh, I believe in God, but he got no works. You check his YouTube page, nigga hasn't posted in 2 months. Hey, obviously guys like that, hey, they're not gonna have that confidence, man. Guys like that, they're gonna get weak and fall out, and their mind is gonna prick them, man. But let's keep reading. It says, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. See, your labor is not gonna be in vain, man. We got to remember that there's a reward after this, man. If we are doing this sincerely and truthfully, then there's a reward after this, man. And we're all going to receive that same penny, man. But if you're not doing anything, You really think the Lord is gonna reward you? You really think you're gonna get a crown and you have not endured anything or you haven't done anything in this ministry, man? Some of you guys, you gotta really, man, some of you guys are through, man. But this is Hebrews 6 and 10. It says, "For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister." So the Lord is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, man. Everything, hey, this is a labor of love, man. You really got to be fully invested in this truth and really have your mind engaged when you're doing these lessons, when you're out there at camp, when you're doing all of this, man. And that's another thing too, man. When you do this work, man, you want to make sure that you're in the right spirit as well, man. Because, there's some guys that just because they show up to camp, they think that they're doing the work, man. But when you, but when they're at camp, they never bring out precepts. They're just they have like Apostle Gabar says it, that 1,000 mile stare. They don't even know what the fuck they're involved in, man, or why they're even there, man. You see? But the elect, they're going to know why they're here. They're going to know why they're involved in this truth. They're going to know why they're putting in that work, man. This for that. It's ultimately for that crown, man. You got to remember that the Lord is not unrighteous to forget our labor of love, man. There's going to be a reward after this, man. And also it says in that ye have ministered to the saints and do ministry. So you have to minister, man. You have to serve. You have to be out there doing the work, man. The scriptures talk about, let me see, let me get this real quick. This is 2 Timothy 4 and 5. It says, "But watch thou in all things, endure affliction." So we're supposed to be watching, man. If you're being lazy, slack, and remiss, then you're definitely not watching, man. You're definitely not watching. You gotta stay up on your watch, man. A watchman, the scriptures talk about how the watchmen are not gonna hold their peace day nor night, man. That requires diligence to not hold your peace day nor night, man. All right? It says, "Endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry." So we're supposed to be watching. We're supposed to be enduring. And not only that, but it says, do the work of an evangelist, man. Meaning what? We're going to have to be out there preaching on the streets, man. Like the Lord commanded us to do. He told us to go out there in the highways and byways and bid them to the marriage, man. And you really think when you're out there, you're not going to have to be fully engaged, man? That also shows that you're being mentally lazy, man. You got to be engaged in this, man. You got to be 100% full throttle into this, man. You got to count the costs and know what you're involved in, man. You're supposed to be watching, enduring afflictions, and doing the work of an evangelist, which is street preaching, man. All right? And you're supposed to not hold your peace day nor night, man. See, that's what happens. You when you truly have faith in the Lord, your faith is going to show in your works, man. Your faith is going to show in the things that you do. But let me see. This is let me see. Yup, this is Isaiah 62 and 6. It says, "I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem." And guess what? Those watchmen, guess what? They're going to be blowing the trumpet, man. So if you're a watchman and you're not blowing the trumpet, what the fuck kind of watchman is that? You call yourself a watchman, but you're not absolutely watching anything. You're not blowing the trumpet. You're just a lazy watchman. If you're a lazy watchman, guess what? You're going to get that city destroyed, man. So if you're a watchman and you're not blowing the trumpet, the Lord is going to, he's going to remove your candlestick, man. Because the Lord, the Lord said he's going to search Jerusalem with candles, man. And he's going to come crack down on the people that are settled upon their lease, man. The men that are settled on their lease that think that the Lord's not going to do anything, man. The Lord's going to come and jack those people up, man. He's going to jack them up. For the reason they knew better and they didn't do better. A lot of these guys have the truth, but they're not working, man. They're not working within this truth. They're not they're not enduring afflictions. They're not watching. They're not making lessons. They're not going out to teach. And they think they got the truth, man. You don't have the fucking truth, man. And Salakia for saying fucking truth, Salakia. But you know what I mean, man. You don't got it. Because the ones that do got it, guess what? They're going to be putting their diligence to make their calling and election sure, man. It says, "I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night." So guess what? You're not gonna be holding your peace day nor night, man. You're gonna constantly be making mention of the Lord. It says, "Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth." Last time I checked, Jerusalem isn't a praise in the earth, man. So you still gotta put your diligence. You still gotta do this work. This work still has to be done. We've stepped into other men's labors, so don't get prideful either, man. We're unprofitable servants. So do your work, do your part as that unprofitable servant, and do the work, man. Don't nah. That's another thing too. Guys start doing the work a little bit, then they start getting a little ego, thinking they're big shots and shit, man. When the apostles and elders been doing this for 40 plus 50 years, or not Salakia, but for 30, 40 years, man. And not only that, but they don't boast in that, man. They don't boast in that. But they've been doing this for so long, man, that's hey, they've been diligent, man. We have a good example right here in Great Millstone, man. We have the apostles that have been diligent, man. They've been putting in this work, and not only that, but when you go on the apostles' pages, they're posting 8, 10 lessons a day, man. Like, come on, man. And you're telling me that you as a young man, as a 20, 21-year old, 22-year old, 23-year old, that you're lazy, man? Do not the scriptures say that the glory of a young man is in his strength, man? You got your strength, man, and the apostles are outworking your dumbass. Because you want to be lazy and slack and remiss, man. Nah, you got to get out that spirit, man. And if you're in that spirit and you're constantly in that spirit and you're not breaking out that spirit, man, eventually you're going to fall out, man. Because now you're just putting off day by day. When the scriptures clearly say that ye that make mention of the Lord keep not silence, man. You're not supposed to keep silence in the truth. You're supposed to be constantly crying out to the Lord, constantly blowing the trumpet, constantly doing these lessons, constantly reading, constantly fellowshipping, constantly being charitable, man. You see? You got to be in this fully engaged, man. You can't be in this truth thinking you got the truth and you're not doing no work, man. Nah, you got to be involved in this, man. You got to know what you just signed up for, man. The scriptures say this, man. This is Luke 9 and 62. And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God. So if you put your hand to the plow, man, ain't no looking back anymore, man. You got to keep plowing. You got to keep working. There's no giving your walking papers to the Lord, man. There's no falling out in this truth, man. All right? You think that just because, hey, just because you're not, that you might not be in the camp no more, that you're going to stop doing this work. You still got to do this work, man. The Lord, hey, you still got to do the work. You still got to go out there and teach. You still got to be out there doing the work, man. Regardless whether you're by yourself or not, man. You still got to be out there doing the work. You still got to do what you got to do as a man of the Lord to what? Fight for that salvation, man. Fight for your crown. All right? Hey, man, you gotta truly know what you're involved in, man. And another thing too, you cannot hate laborious work, man. This truth that we're in is very, very laborious, man. It's a lot, man. Especially it's a lot mentally, man. The scriptures talk about how much studying is a weariness of the flesh, man. You don't think that you gotta sit there and really study, man. Sometimes for hours, man. You really think that you reading for like 10 minutes, that's studying, man? That's not studying, man. You gotta really sit there, read, go into the words, go to the definition of the words, the etymology, the history, the Hebrew, man. You're gonna there gonna be things that you don't understand. Guess what? You're gonna have to call a brother. You're gonna have to sit there and listen to the brother give you the breakdown, which sometimes is not even gonna be a 30 minutes. Sometimes you're gonna be on the phone for an hour, 2 hours straight, man. Hey, man, this truth, you really gotta be involved in it. Your actions are gonna speak louder than your words, man. Your actions are always gonna speak louder than your words. It says, let me see. This is 1 John 2 and 6. It says, he that saith he abideth in him ought himself also so to walk, even as he walked. So, hey, Yahushua gave us the perfect example, man. When Yahushua was here on earth, he was constantly diligent, man. Especially in the ministry. He did not take no days off, man. He was constantly doing the work, constantly involved in this ministry, constantly doing miracles, constantly giving parables to the people, constantly teaching, man. Hey, the Lord gives the perfect example. And if you say you abide in the Lord, if you say you got this truth, if you say you're a man of the Lord, if you consider yourself a prophet, if you consider yourself one of you know, you're out there doing the, you consider yourself I'm a man of the Lord. And you say you abide in the Lord, well, guess what? You got to walk even as he walked, man. And the Lord was not lazy. The Lord did not take no breaks. The Lord, he did not hate laborious work, man. But he was constantly in this being diligent, man. You see? So we as well, guess what, man? We got to be diligent. If we say we abide in the Lord, we have to walk even as he walked, man. And the Lord was not lazy, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone taught us this truth. Shalom and Abba.